And just to kind of show a better look at some of them in hands. As you can see, the Graflex, you can hold it different ways. I know some people prefer like this or like this. I hold mine like this. The CoverTech wheel's in a good place because it's here in the back so it doesn't get in the way of my hands. It's actually pretty easy to hold. I don't recommend dueling with it. It's comfortable to hold, but not so much fun to duel with. After doing this and flailing about with it for a little while, it does start to get irritating, especially right here, because these are not a soft plastic, they're actually a really hard plastic, which is nice, it's great, I like them. I use mine more as a decorative piece and just for occasionally pulling out and clashing around a little bit. I wouldn't actually duel with it. I get asked that on my comments sometimes, whether this is good to duel with. I would say no. That's my personal opinion on it. But it's still my second favorite saber besides the Prophecy. It looks good and more comfortable than I thought it would be. As I mentioned before, the buttons here are customizable. I have bronze on this side and gold on this side. I know a lot of people will get gold on both sides, or if they want a more Empire Strikes Back look, they'll get the red ones on both sides, but I wanted metallic ones. I really like the bunny rabbit ears here. That looks nice. Good touch. And another thing that people ask me about is the wobble on the blade. This part here, they say it'll wobble. I've never had that problem. Mine has never wobbled. I don't take really the blade in and out. All of the Ultrasabers, the blades are removable, but I've never actually taken the blade out of this one. So maybe that's it. Maybe it just came really securely in there. I know some people have trouble with a slight wobble. Mine does not have any wobbling issues. Now, most of y'all know my favorite saber is the Prophecy, which is smaller than the Graflex, easy for me to use. Comfortable. It's good for a smaller person. I'm 5'6". I weigh about 125 to 130. For a larger person, it's probably good maybe for a one-handed saber or two-handed saber. But for my smaller size, and I think maybe for women, I think it's really light. It's good for spinning. It's like, oh, my veins heart. I have two of these. Comfortable. Got the CoverTech wheel on the right side so it doesn't get in the way of my hand, because I tend to hold my sabers like this, right hand up here, left hand down here. So when it comes with the CoverTech wheel on this side, it gets right in the way. And this one actually came with the CoverTech wheel on this side. That's why the lights are on this side. They're on the opposite side of the wheel originally came on. My other Prophecy, my Dark Prophecy, originally came with the wheel on this side. I had to have it sent back and have it moved to this side. As you can see on my other Prophecy here, they put that little screw in place to cover up that hole, put it on that side, and you'll notice the eyes are on this side, whereas on this one, they're on the left side. This is actually my favorite saber that I own, my Guardian Blue one. Love the slanted emitter, love the little gold pieces right here that cover up these screws that hold the blade in place, because as I said, all the blades are removable. Moving on, we have the Dark Sentinel, which is kind of a cousin to the Prophecy to me, just because of these little choke points right here. This one is much larger, as you can see. This is my stunt one here. You'll see the standard AV switch right there. This one's also very comfortable to use, good for spinning, I feel. You can get it with or without the windows in the emitter. I like mine with it. Where's the other one? There it is. Aha. This one actually has the black AV switch. They have finally done that. People who've seen my Dark Prophecy review, which apparently is a lot of people, I complained that I couldn't get it in a black AV switch because they just didn't have that. Well, they have added those now. I will be getting another Dark Prophecy with one at some point. This is my one saber I've bought since they came out with their V4 soundboard. Ooh, that is so comfortable. I like to hold mine left hand here, right hand here, and it's that's so comfortable. I love the Sentinel hilts. I need to get a silver one at some point, because this is the Dark Sentinel in black. They make a regular Sentinel that's silver. The V4 soundboard is great. Some of the comments I get is it worth upgrading to the V4 soundboard? The answer is yes. Very simply, yes. Because it's only $10 more, and you get all these different sound fonts. Like the V3, all you get is one. You get that. That's all you get. Now you can hook it up to the computer and change it, but you can only keep one sound font on there at a time. Which is great. Sound font, I love the Obsidian sound font, it's my favorite. But I like being able to switch between them, which I can do here. All you gotta do is hold the button down, tap it, and then hold it.
Confirmed.
Now we're in episode 6 sound font. And we can switch again. Stun. I can turn into a stun saber. Obsidian. There's the Sith sound font.
Confirmed.
And now we're in Sith. Saber lock up. Of course, you can go into the saber lock up just by tapping the button with it on. There's your saber lock up sound. Tap it again. It goes off. Hold the button down and cut it off. Another one of my favorite hilts. That's basically the whole point of this review, is just to kind of give my current thoughts on some of the different sabers, especially the ones I haven't. It's been a long time since I did my review on. Like here's my first saber, the Initiate. It's still a great saber. It's still comfortable for me. This saber is more for smaller people or children. This is not the pommel that comes on it normally. This is the Catalyst pommel, so it's really only usually about this long. So really this saber, in my opinion, is meant for either kids or for using one-handed, like an offhand saber if you're dual wielding or something. You know, kind of like that. You know, that makes more sense. I know a lot of people get it as their first saber. That's what I did. Even if I didn't have this pommel on here, it'd be too short to use two-handed. With this pommel, it makes it just long enough I can use it two-handed. And it's actually pretty comfortable. I can't cut it on. I don't have enough batteries right now to have all my sabers on. This one has an Ultra Edge blade. You'll notice most of mine have mid-grade. That's another question I get a lot, is what's better, an Ultra Edge blade or a mid-grade blade? Or the standard mid-grade blade over the Ultra Edge mid-grade blade. The question is, it depends on the color. For instance, Dark Violet Amethyst, and Bane's Heart, the purples, tend to look better in mid-grade. I think they look better in the standard mid-grade, personally. Whereas in the greens, like Consular Green and Sunrider's Destiny, look way better in Ultra Edge, in my opinion. Guardian Blue looks good in both. I think it looks better in mid-grade. Arctic Blue, it's a tie. I think it looks fantastic in either. And Blazing Red, I like a lot better in the mid-grade. So it just depends on the color. I have other people, another question I get asked a lot is, for dueling purposes, do you need a heavy grade blade? Mid-grade blades can be used for dueling, especially just regular dueling. I think a mid-grade blade is fine. Heavy grade blade is when you're going all out, or if you're like, I don't know, dueling against a tree or something. Keep in mind with a heavy grade blade, they are twice as thick. The heavy grade blades, I don't have any heavy grade blades. Mine are all mid-grade because I don't really do a lot of dueling. But the heavy grade blades are twice as thick, therefore the blades are going to weigh twice as much. And that is going to change the balancing point of your saber. That's going to change the weight of your saber, and it could very well change how you use the saber. I think if you're just going to be doing spinning and showing out, the mid-grade blade is just fine. I think for light dueling, the mid-grade blade is just fine. If you're going to be going all out in a war, then get the heavy grade blade. The Shock LE. I love this saber. Oddly enough, I don't use it as much, probably because I have it in Fire Orange, and I like Fire Orange, but it's nowhere near one of my favorite colors. But it's one of the most comfortable. I know I say this a lot, but it honestly is one of the most comfortable hilts that I own. It's even more comfortable than the Graflex. I'd stick it right up there with my Sentinel and my Prophecy. My three most comfortable sabers to use are probably the Prophecy, the Sentinel, the Shock, and then maybe the Bellicose right behind it. So there it is in Fire Orange with the orange illuminated switch. The illuminated switches come in most of the colors except purple. For some reason they don't have a purple one yet. I love the pommel. Now I took the cover tape wheel off because it was on the left side. As I said, it got in the way of my hand, so I simply took it off. And to be honest, I actually prefer the saber without a wheel on it at all. I can get my hands all the way around it. Easy to use. Comfortable. Now, if you get a saber and you think you might want to change the colors on it, but you don't want to pay money for the emerald driver, I get asked a lot about emerald sabers, the ones where you can change the blade colors by hooking it up to the computer. I do not have an emerald saber yet. It's about a $140 upgrade. I just haven't gotten around to throwing down the money on it. I will eventually, and when I do it, I will give my thoughts on it, but I haven't done one yet. But another way to go is you can get the quick disconnects, which lets you swap out the MLS units. The emitter comes off. Now, some of these sabers, the emitters are locked on, like the Graflex and the Prophecy. They're part of the main hilt. They don't come off. But some of these, like the Shock and the Archon, they do. And then you can just, there's your MLS unit. Be very careful whenever you do this. See this little black piece? This is a quick disconnect. You just squeeze one part right here. I can't really see that well. Or I do it, and this part right here will actually disconnect. I can't really see what I'm doing that well, but this does actually come out. I just never, there we go. And then you can take this out, and then you bring in another one, like a purple one or something, and you just slide it back in. Be very careful how you put this back in there. And then if I had put in another MLS unit, the blade would be a different color. I don't know if I got that in there quite right or not, as well as I need to. We'll find out. And you can put that back in there. And then if I used a different one, you know, it would be a different blade color. So that's always another option. But I do love the Shock. I recommend it. They have an all silver Shock. It's the regular Shock is just all silver. This is the LE with the gold accents. Most of the sabers, like the Initiate and the Aeons, they have this all silver version and the LE version, which is silver and gold. It's the same way with my, where is my other Dominix? There it is. These are pretty much the same saber. You see right here, this is the Domination D3. This is the regular version that's all black. This is the LE, which is has the silver rings on it. I like the V3 Dominixes. I don't really care for the V4s on the Aeons and the Dominix. I don't like the way they look with or without their windows. I just don't care for them. That's why I don't own any. I much prefer their V3 look. As you can see, Ultra Edge with the consular green. I do tend to prefer green and Ultra Edge. I just think it looks better. These are also really nice to use. The choke points on them make them great for spinning and practicing with. This one's actually a stunt one in Guardian Blue. This one's also a stunt one. I like stunt sabers sometimes when I'm just practicing. I don't get distracted by the noise. I can kind of just get caught up in what I'm doing. I'll do that in here. I don't practice in here as much. There's a fan right there, and I've already learned the hard way. It's really easy to bust one of these little glass pieces right there. You'll notice one of them's missing. There's a reason for that. So, let's see. The Archon. Now this is the Archon version 2.1. You see the neck right here? They have a new one that's called the V3, which has the thinner neck that's gold and black. Looks more like Luke's from episode 3. Want to get that eventually. Haven't had a chance to get it yet. It's out of stock right now. Waiting for another raffle and for it to come back in stock. Have the classic pommel on this one. They also do an all silver pommel, or excuse me, I have the regular pommel on this one. I have a classic pommel that's all silver, and I will get that one whenever I get my V3. But I have the regular pommel on this one. This neck right here is interchangeable with other stuff. This one, much like the Shock, will unscrew. And if I wanted to, I could actually take the emitter off the Shock and put it on here, just like I could take this emitter and put it on the Shock pommel. They are MHS compatible, which is a modular hilt system. So the emitters can swap from saber to saber with any of them that are MHS compatible. The pommel too, actually. I can take the pommel off of this saber and put it on my Shock. I can take the pommel on my Shock and put it on this saber. So you can kind of customize how your saber looks. Again, Ultra Edge blade in consular green. Because I'm a Luke Skywalker fan, it had to be in green. Got the green AV switch. I like having the colored AV switches. I usually like it to match my blade, not always. This is another one where I had the issue of the CoverTech wheel being on the wrong side, so I simply took it off so it's not in the way of my hand. It's easy to use. This is still another saber I like to pull out and swing around. It's lightweight. The smaller sabers, the lighter sabers are better for me. Again, I'm a smaller guy. I know some of the larger people like the more beefier sabers, like the Guardian and the Scorpion. I can swing this bad boy around all day long. I say as I put it up. Now this is the Bellicose. This is actually the one saber I have with a green blade in mid-grade because I thought I needed one in mid-grade because it does still look good in mid-grade. I just like it better in Ultra Edge. It has the emitter of the Archon, the body of the Consular without the sleeve, and the pommel of the Bellicose, just to give you an idea of how you can kind of customize these things. You can't take the emitter from one, the body of another, and the pommel of another. Kind of create your own saber, a nice little Franken saber. It has a standard switch on it. It's just a little stunt saber. Actually, more comfortable than I thought it would be. I actually got this for free from Ultrasabers and was really, really pleased with it. Enough so to where I kept it in that setup. Now, the Aeon V2. This is probably the best saber I have for spinning. I don't know what it is. It's so light, it's so narrow. You can't even get a soundboard in there. It's really narrow. But it's so easy to use. I love the V2s. I know some people hate on the V2s because they can't have sound, but I love them. They are so comfortable. Actually, I have two in case I want to make a staff with them, even though it would be a different colored bladed staff. I have one in Arctic Blue, which is lighter than their Guardian Blue, and then I have Dark Violet Amethyst, and I love both. I think it looks good in both. Dark Violet Amethyst, I get asked sometimes. Some people will say, well, my Dark Violet Amethyst looks too light, or mine looks too dark. And the thing about their basic colors are made with one LED. Their premium colors are made by mixing two different LEDs, and their forum colors are also made by mixing two LEDs, usually with one of the colors being resistor. I don't even know what that means, but apparently that's what it is. The bottom line for that is the ones made with one LED tend to look the same because it's just one LED, but the premium colors that are mixed, results tend to vary from saber to saber, and the forum colors definitely vary from saber to saber. I have 3 sabers in Dark Violet Amethyst, and they all look slightly different. So if you get one saber in Dark Violet Amethyst, and another saber in Dark Violet Amethyst, and another saber in Dark Violet Amethyst, results will vary. One's going to be a little lighter than the other. I'd bring the other 2 out, but one, I know the differences aren't going to show up on camera because the blades do not illuminate on camera the way they look in person. They still look great in person, but they don't look dead on movie accurate like they do on camera. But also my other 2 DVA sabers need batteries. I don't have enough batteries. I don't really know if you'll be able to tell. Here's one. Oh, wrong one. That's the problem with having 2 of the same saber. You mix them up. This is Violet Amethyst. It's kind of a magenta pink, light violet, whereas this one's more of a darker purple. They actually do look very different. This is Violet Amethyst, this is Dark Violet Amethyst, so the colors are different. I don't know how well it shows up on camera. I like Dark Violet Amethyst better. It's more of a purple, whereas this one's more of a violet. So there's more pinkish to this one. I do like having one of each. I'm not going to combine these into the staff mode. There's not enough room, and to be honest, I can wield it decently, but I prefer just to do one saber, just a regular saber. I'm not too big into the staffs these days. For some reason, my review on this one is hugely popular. The Dark Prophecy. Now, one of my friends loves this thing. He's a big Sith guy. I get asked a lot of questions about the red. Is it too orangey? Is it too bright? It's red. It's red. Don't go by necessarily what's showing up on the camera. Go more maybe by the light that's illuminating off of it. That's what the blade looks like in person. It's a nice blood red. It's a Sith red. It's a good red. I love blazing red. I love this saber. You can see the light shining through right there. It's another one I had to have move the cover tape wheel. Still got the little gold accents on the regular Prophecy. This is just a nice Sith saber. It's awesome. I do have the standard switch on it just because they didn't make the black AV switches at the time. I do want to get another one with a black AV switch and the new V4 soundboard. I always recommend getting the V4 soundboard. It's only $10 more. And I think there was something else. Yes, the new tri-light settings. I get a lot of questions on this. Prowl, what do you think of the tri-light settings? Are they brighter? I don't know yet. I haven't gotten any sabers. That's a new feature that they've just put out in the past few months, at least at the time of this recording. I don't have any in the tri settings yet. What the tri setting is it only works for the basic colors, And then if you get it, you can't get the flash for Clash. But instead of having one LED, most of the basic colors, all the basic colors come with one LED that makes the color. It comes with 3, so it makes the blade brighter. That's basically the main difference. The blade is brighter with the tri-effects. How much brighter, I believe, varies from color to color. I do not have any in person yet to judge. When my next saber, which will probably be another one of these, will have it. That way I'll be able to do a comparison of it, even though I doubt that'll show up on camera. But just the regular blazing red looks good. I like it. I still love this saber. It's my second favorite saber that I own. The Graflex is my second favorite hilt, but just going by sabers, my Guardian Blue Prophecy is my favorite. My Blazing Red Dark Prophecy is my second favorite. My Graflex is my third favorite. And then, I don't know, my Prophecy and Fane's Heart, the magenta colored one's probably my fourth. So this is one bad saber. I love it very much. I think this one the batteries have died on. Yeah, they're going to go out any second. Another really good one. This thing's too big for me to use. I love it. It's a great decorative piece.